Welcome back to Good People in Hockey, the podcast where we shine a light on leaders growing the game on and off the ice. I'm your host, Tatiana Rafter, joined as always by my co-host, Mike.
Hey, Tad, it's good to be back. The hockey world is buzzing. Junior hockey is underway. I think Double A starts this weekend. There's a massive showcase starting today, the day we're recording this, and minor hockey is slowly but surely coming together, and tournament season starts next month already, which is pretty exciting. So there's some serious momentum this fall.
Yeah, and speaking of the grassroots level, I've been in some very exciting meetings this week around Hockeyball. So don't know that are listening, it's a new accessible version of hockey. You can play without ice. It's designed for kids of all abilities and backgrounds, and I have been named and working as the ambassador in Manitoba here to bring it into K-9 schools well, and we'll be working with some Indigenous communities throughout North America. It's been amazing seeing how kids connect with the game and just pick up a stick and get after it right away, like from all ages, backgrounds. I just love to see it and getting kids active, involved, and healthy. So it essentially, I've seen it as it really takes away a lot of barriers for kids into getting involved. So it's really exciting.
Yeah, it's so exciting, right? It changes the entry point within the sport, and then it ties right in with the show too, which is kind of unique. Um, it's all really about making hockey more inclusive, and in my opinion, the more you can make it inclusive and remove barriers, the better long term.
And people being able to play that have disabilities or maybe in wheelchairs, it just being inclusive to all types of bodies is very amazing, and on a personal note in my life, I finally named my cat. I know I was struggling with that on the podcast because her name was Potato, and now her name is Baker. She's always baking with her paws, she's kind of always going like this, kneading the dough. So we called her Baker. And Jackson's getting into his rhythm of kindergarten. It's really the best time of year to go to the zoo. It's just really exciting. I love fall. So that's what's been going on with me. And what about you?
Are you a boo at the zoo type of person, out of curiosity, or just the zoo?
Zoo. I'm a Christmas lights at the zoo. I'm getting a membership, like honestly, next year, because I go to the Leaf, I go to the zoo, I go to Boo at the Zoo, I go to the Lights, I go to whatever. There's a comedy show, there's a movie in the park. Like I'm doing everything at the park. So I love it.
One of these will do. I have a membership for both the zoo and the Leaf, so
Okay, anytime you want me, I'll go for a walk in the jungle to the butterfly.
welcome to the club. Welcome to the club. That being said, what I've been doing is I've been reconnecting with teams, reconnecting with coaches. My job as a broadcaster is kind of get everybody reconnected, reacquainted. We actually did a game last night. It was 1-0, 0-0 until 14 seconds left in regulation. Pretty exciting, but no, just reconnecting with coaches, and I'm really, really, really excited. You let me in on some stuff about what's coming up on the show. People should be, if they haven't already, making this podcast a weekly destination.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we've got folks coming on from the Washington Capitals, Carolina Hurricanes organization, and today, leading into that, Courtney Mahoney is coming on. She's the president of operations for the Chicago Wolves, and 5 championships, decades of impact, a track record of combining hockey success with real community leadership. Everything. I'm so interested to talk to her today, and she's going to join us in just a few moments. And I think if you haven't joined us already, definitely make sure to subscribe and stay tuned for these following episodes. And first, we're kicking things off with someone quietly building one of the most respected organizations in the AHL for over 30 years. She's led Adopt a Dog Night programs started like that have raised millions for charity and continue to push what it means to run a purpose-driven hockey organization. So I really want to get into it and welcome Courtney to the podcast. Thanks for coming on today, Courtney. How are you doing?
Hold on. There we go.
There we go.
That's that kind of week.
Yeah. And Mike, I see you put me on the right side. I always like to be on the right side. So he always makes sure he puts me over I don't know why, but we had a little bit of audio issues. We figured it out. We've got Courtney with us now. And I guess tell us a bit about what are you up to this week?
It's been crazy. Our season starts officially tomorrow. We're on the road against Iowa, and then our home opener is next Saturday and Sunday against the Rockford Ice Hogs. So it's that kind of time of year. It's very exciting. The players are back in town, some new guys, getting them situated, and then just gearing up everything for the game, which is all the collateral materials, hanging dashers, getting music ready, creating our opening show, and we have a new video wall. So that's been a daunting project to build everything, but it's great. It's the best time of year, and this is why you work in hockey.
And now you've done it 31 times. You've been
yeah, almost. I think this is my 29th actually.
Almost. Yes. So then we can have you on for your 30th.
Deal. I like to age myself. I always say I started when I was 10. So
that's amazing. What originally drew you to this organization, and what's kept you there so long?
I knew I always wanted to work in sports. I have a passion for the fundraising and the community aspect, and sports seems you have a guaranteed audience every night. You have a game. The reach is amazing. So to pair it with fundraising and giving back to the community has been really important. And so I had an opportunity. I actually didn't know much about hockey at all. I gone to school in University of Wisconsin, so it was a big football school and basketball school, which is kind of what I was familiar with. But the Wolves had just started. They started in 94, 95, then I joined in 96, 97, and just so much opportunity, and it's the most amazing place. So it's obviously been quite a ride.
Quite a ride. And I guess take me back to the beginning. Are there some major areas of growth that you've seen just over the course of your time there that you could say, you know what, these couple things really have made a huge impact over the years?
Yeah, I mean, I think it starts from the top. It starts with our owner, Don Levin, who, is the reason I stay for as many years and will stay as long as he keeps me. His passion for winning, his passion for the community is unbelievable, and to be around that and be a part of that is incredible. And as I've slowly kind of built my way up, he's given me a lot of autonomy to do a lot of the community programs I want to do, and just learning from him and how to manage. And then the Wolves have always been really successful. Then, hockey is certainly in Chicago with the Hawks doing pretty well, that just raises the awareness of the sport. So it's been awesome. And we've just continued to learn and take mistakes we may have made, but we just improve the programs that do really well. Like the Adopt a Dog program is incredible. Our reading program, hey, we did it in libraries. Now, how do we expand it and make it bigger and impact more people? Who else can we help? I mean, I'm very lucky to be in this position to just give back each and every day. So I feel very privileged.
And I think, honestly, over time, the Wolves have been, and we talked about this a bit before we jumped on, that they're known for a bit of blending competitive success with community impact. even top companies that I can think of, the ones with the community impact in that, you're generally doing things correctly across the board, right? So you have the community buy-in. You want people to feel like they have a stakeholdership in what you're building and they want to be part of it. And you guys do a really good job with that.
Thank you.
How do you balance those two priorities, right? Because you want to win, but it also takes a lot of effort essentially to build that community as well. So how do you break up your tasks in that way?
Yeah, and I think it starts again, it's like starts at the beginning of the season when I meet with the players, their number one priority is to win a Calder Cup. With that, as intentional as that is, the intentional is to be the best organization, whether it's AHL, NHL, or NFL, giving back to the community. So we kind of set up those expectations. It's important to find out what causes are important to them. Hey, we want to go to hospitals and fight against cancer. You're big into autism. How do I take what they're passionate about and build upon it? So, and part of my job is really to make their lives as easy as possible so they can focus on the hockey to win championships, but then also make sure that we're doing what's right to give back to the community. And the third part of this, the most important part, is our fans. None of this would be possible without them and their support and their like constant, we've really take a lot of feedback from them and figuring out what works, what doesn't. We're in October, so it's breast cancer awareness. And one of my favorite fundraisers is we do survivor sticks. So for $175, which is the cost of a mammogram, you can get a stick from a player, write a survivor's name on it, proceeds benefit Silver Lining Foundation. So it's a really unique cause. And it's cool to be like, boom, your $175 goes here. This is what you get. And our fans just embrace this and are so supportive. So without them, none of this is possible.
That's an amazing initiative. I haven't actually heard of another team that's done something for mammograms specifically. So that's so interesting. And I know like the Wolves fans come to the games just for the games. That I talked to a couple people in the community there. One of my friends is coaching a 12U team there and everything. And there's just this energy to the fans is how they described it, that it can be pretty electric. So where did that from, like, where did it start, or has it been kind of a gradual fan engagement process?
I think we set a tone very, very early on. We have, our anthem is sung by Wayne Messmer, who is renowned in Chicago. He sang for the Blackhawks in the old stadium. He sings for the Cubs. So that was kind of boom, this is how we're going to go. And obviously the biggest thing with our fan experience is we have this unbelievable laser and pyro show, that we do each and every game. And this company, Strictly Effects, which is, they do Coldplay, they do the Super Bowl, they do Billie Eilish, they do every major artist you can think of, and they help produce all our lasers and pyros each and every game. So that's
fun.
As soon as you get there, there's flames, there's this and that. It kind of sets a tone for what to expect from everything.
I'm gonna go to the Moose Laval game this weekend, so I'm gonna be. Where's the pyro at?
Where's the flames? Where's the flames? Come on, guys.
I don't know if we are that into that here yet, but we should.
They do a great job up there. I know Laval had the All-Star game, and they do tremendous
game. But just funny side note, the competitions they have are great that they have. Anyway, so back to you. Maybe with all your experience and all, with fan engagement specifically, like, is there any, I guess, organizations that you're partnered with youth hockey, or what aspect do you guys have on the grassroots level?
We partner with a lot of the rinks around Chicago, and there's a ton. So we have a partnership with almost each and every local rink, from Glenview to Des Plaines to Darien to downtown Chicago at McFetridge. Our biggest endeavor, I think, for the community side, in addition to youth hockey, is we do a pretty big reading program. We do a Read to Succeed program in the libraries and in the schools, and we also have a health program that we do in the schools. So our goal is to really give back in whatever capacity we can. So that's kind of the goal, is to get out there, get the kids interested, win tickets to the game, and enjoy the experience. We we have 3 day games, which a lot of the teams in the league do now, which is where kids come as a field trip, and it's kind of their first taste and of maybe the hockey, or they haven't been to the Wolves, but they're coming through school, and it's unbelievable. It's so loud. I love it. I feel so good about myself after, because everybody loves the music. So you're like, hi, maybe I am doing this all right.
Love to dance and like whip their sweaters
Oh,
around.
you know it. You know it.
Have the best time. And with the Read to Succeed, are the players going into the classrooms and they're reading, or what exactly is?
We actually don't read. The goal of the program was to, initially it started with libraries, and the goal of the program was to have, I guess it's multi. And part of it is setting goals and achieving goals. So it's not necessarily a reward for the kid that always reads the most book. It's about someone who, hey, I set a goal to read 20 minutes a day and I'm doing that. So now you have a chance to win tickets and prizes. And then also to see what amazing resources the library has to offer. So it was doing that. And then we extended it to the schools as well. So same thing, like set goals, achieve goals, win tickets, prizes. And then when the players go, their message, it's also depending on the player. We try to be very authentic with everything. So if it's a guy that got a 4 year degree, he'll talk about the importance of education. Maybe there's one that hasn't, but they just talk about the importance of reading, exercising your mind. It's just their experience. Hey, read on the bus when I go here. My parents always made me do homework before I got to practice, just for them to hear from somebody else the importance of not only reading and education, but again, setting goals and achieving goals. And your mind is just as important as the physical aspect of what you're doing.
Oh, especially with all the mental health
Hmm.
that's come out now, and that's at the forefront of all conversations, right? Like
Absolutely.
taking care of yourself and that you're okay, and setting goals, right? That builds your confidence, especially with reading. I think that's amazing, right? Because your benchmark is you. You're
Yeah.
not comparing yourself to other people. It's, did I improve? Am I getting better? So I think that's really awesome.
So, some technical difficulties there, but we are back and better and stronger than ever. So, we left off, we were talking about Read to Succeed a little bit, and I was talking a little bit about the reach of the schools and how many kids, and you wanted to touch on just if you could make that impact and your purpose behind it.
Yeah, I think that, and the programs have been amazing, and we've reached hundreds of thousands of kids and students. But I think when you hear the stories of that one kid that, or her parent comes up to you and like, my kid wasn't reading, but then he saw Justin Robita at the library, and now he's so into it. I mean, those are the successes. And I think when speaking about mental health, we did a game where we had players wear mental health awareness jerseys and this and that. And the goal is why you want to raise a ton of money and raise awareness. You always feel like if just one person now knows that it's okay to not be okay, and they have a different perspective because these hockey players feel the same way. It's those are the successes in life.
Yeah. And just, I think hockey players, especially opening that door to men being vulnerable and the quiet side of men's emotions, right? That doesn't really always get brought to the forefront of things, right? But is very important. And because it isn't talked about as much, like just opening that door is really amazing. And some of the other things we talked about, the cancer fundraising with the mammograms, amazing initiative. I love that. And maybe you can share a little bit about the autism awareness work that your organizations do. What do you not do? Like, it's amazing how many different initiatives you guys have going on. But
Yeah,
yeah.
that's the goal. I mean, it's there. We have some consistencies, but the goal is yeah, to do as much and as whatever we can to help out and make a difference, and in every capacity, from dogs to autism to cancer. So I wish I was out of business and all the dogs are in great places and everyone was healthy, but we'll keep fighting until we get there.
Mhm.
Autism, we have done, the players wear St. Patrick's Day jerseys, courtesy of Jewel Osco, and those we have worn since, man, I think like 96, 97. So each and every year, and we do that to raise awareness for autism. The proceeds go to Easter Seals and Chicago Wolves charities. And it's really, sometimes a hockey environment is not the best environment for kids with autism. So just with the noise and the fireworks. So we just want to do our part to give back and again, raise awareness. So we've been doing this for literally almost 30 years, and it's great partners and just the connection we have to let people know, and kids with autism dropping the puck and just seeing that they're learning, they're fitting in and all those type of things. So it's again another one that, and this one is each and every year. We rotate a lot of our other causes. We wear 2 specialty jerseys. We've done, like I said, mental health jerseys. We have fight against cancer jerseys, but every year we do autism awareness.
Yeah. And it's getting that awareness out there to now the point, I think, with your organization, other organizations and initiatives and that, where it's pretty common to know somebody with autism or just be aware of it in general. And so you're a drop in the bucket. And I really appreciate that. Just in my personal side of things, that's a cause that's really important to me as well. And I guess you touched on the Adopt a Dog night a little bit. And that, when I did touch base with my friends in Chicago, they said that's pretty much a fan favorite. And, looking up the stats on it, nearly, maybe this is correct, you can let me know, 2,000 dogs have now found their homes. And is that correct? How did that start? And what's the impact in the community?
It is, the Adopt a Dog games are bananas. This is our, our owner, Don Levin, his kind of pet project. He is huge in the community.
Literally a pet project.
Yeah, I know. Did you like that pun? Pet project. I've been saving that. He sponsors in the summer. He sponsors these pet health fairs where in underprivileged communities, people can come out and their pets can get all their shots free, courtesy of him and the Chicago Wolves. But we had started this, man, many years ago, and it's amazing and insane. And so many dogs get adopted and stay with those families, and they get second dogs and third dogs. And if you go to those games, we have a lobby, South Lobby, and our partners right now are Border Tales Rescue and Right Way Rescue. And there's probably about 25 dogs, like kind of all over, people playing with them. And it's just, and then we introduce the dogs at games. We bring them on the ice. Hey, you can meet Mick and take him home. And it is like 16, 17 dogs are getting adopted at each game. And it's just talk about success. Like that's, unless I get them all, then he's never happy, but that's the beauty of him. You have to get them all. But it's just amazing that 17 people, saved this dog's life and took him home and created such a environment. And I joke, our blimp operator, he's adopted 2 dogs. Our play-by-play announcer has adopted 2 or 3 dogs. So it's just this really familial. We've had players that after the games, they come up and their wife has adopted a dog. So it's just
surprise.
I always tell the players, I go, if you guys adopt a dog, you're guaranteed power play time.
That's amazing. And do you do a dog calendar? Because usually you should if you don't.
We just started it last year. We worked with Border Tales Rescue, and we had all the players with the dogs that could be up for adoption. And we're going to do it again this year. And it's amazing. It's adorable. I had a Nikita Pavlyuchev holding like 3 little puppies because he's a big guy. It was awesome. Yeah.
I love that. And that's another aspect of building community, hockey people, but also the dog community, right?
Yes.
Is huge. Yes. So I'm sure you guys are all over that as well, and in the puppy parent community, and all of that is about the organization and all the things that you've been able to implement while you're there. I want to shift it to focus on specifically you a little bit and just end things off with talking about perhaps advice you have to young professionals that are looking to be in leadership roles like yours, in hockey operations and being the president, and that really looking to build a lasting career in sports. So maybe we could zero in on maybe a couple specific things that would be helpful for someone listening, even someone like myself. I'm going to take points away from you with this as well, just being in the industry as well, but just someone wanting to be in the industry long term, things that they can implement or do, or maybe something you've learned along the way. I'll keep it pretty open ended for you.
Yeah, no, I've learned a lot, and I think that's the key is being open to learning, whether it's was my first day as an intern or even to now. It's being, for me, I'm constantly trying to learn how to be a better person, a better human, which entails hopefully makes me a better boss, a better colleague, a better teammate. And I think if you ever think you know it all, you got a problem. And I'm very lucky to be surrounded, like my teammates here, everybody is really amazing, and you learn a lot and can bounce ideas. And I think having been here, you also have a lot of new people that start, and for me to be open instead of being like, no, this is just how we do it, like, hey, what do you think? You're 22, what have you seen, what resonates? But
Yeah.
for me, it's also like when I first started, I just took on every single task. And I have a group of girlfriends that one is at the Chicago Bears and one's at the Blackhawks. And just you kind of take on it's a really cool sports endeavor. We just took on any responsibility you could. You need me to label chocolate pucks, I'll do it. If anything done, I always put myself, if Don needs something, I'm gonna get it done, get it done right, and do all that. So to work in sports, I kind of tell people it's a grind. It's not lucrative, but you're there for the love of the game and for the passion. And again, for me, I'm very privileged in that I get a job where I get to raise money for charity, find homes for dogs. Like I have an unbelievable gig. Like it's so you just have to have a passion for it. And if you're invested in it, then you'll find great success. And I look for kind of the passion and the energy, the skill set we can always teach you because everything's different no matter what team you go to. But to be surrounded by like-minded people that are happy to be there in a game, are going to work their tail off for you and for each other. I think that's really important. And that's how we've grown here. I've grown here because of that. My VP of operations, he started an intern, and he's so good that we just created a job kind of for him, for his skill set. And it's just like that's what also the magic of the Wolves are, that we have the flexibility, like, hey, you're good at this, this, and this. We want you to be here. You want to be here. Let's figure it out.
I love that. And I can just see your passion and feel it through the feed, because even when I'm at the end of my question, I'm almost thinking, okay, I better rush to the end of this and not be so long-winded, because I can already see you just like waiting to share everything that you guys have going on. And so I really appreciate that and the enthusiasm. I think there's a next generation of leaders in sports coming forward, and there's certain skill sets, like males and females, there's different skill sets, and when you blend them all together, it's really something beautiful, and ultimately always usually successful. So I'm looking forward to just following your career and continuing to keep tabs on you. And, after our conversation, it's really clear to me, you have real leadership skills. Like leadership is not necessarily loud, but you get things done. Like you said that multiple times. Like, what does Dawn need? I get it done, and I get it done right the first time. Like get it done right the first time. So quiet, consistent, like rooted in care, like very passionate about what you're doing. And whether it's like mentoring new people coming into the team, like building game night magic for tomorrow, or helping a dog find a home. I think that you've really shown me and people listening to the podcast, whether they're viewing it on Apple or Spotify or YouTube, when you lead with heart and vulnerability and almost like wholehearted leadership, I think the impact really follows. And that's a great organization for you to be part of. And it seems like just such a great fit. You even had someone in there with you trying to help you figure out the audio, all hands on deck.
Yeah, it's a lot of other duties is assigned.
Yeah, as assigned, yeah. And
assigned by yourself, yeah.
You know, your story too just really reminds me that it's not all just about, my printer does this every time. It goes off right when I'm doing a conclusion. Anyway, I turned it off. So your story reminds me, and it's a great reminder that it's not really all about like the glory and like the championships and like that stuff. That's the goal. But I think you're really focused on the process, how to make that end goal actually happen, and all the things that the organization has to do in order for that to happen. So when those moments do happen, where you guys are winning the championship and bringing that home and winning the Calder Cup, it's going to feel so much better, and you're going to have just a huge community force in support to celebrate with you. And that's a way better way to win with everybody on board. And so I think that's the coolest takeaway for me from this conversation. And I think that you guys have really built something that's going to last and continue to. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say in closing. I think thank you so much for coming on. Thank you for all our listeners for tuning in. And don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review the show. It really helps us keep the conversation going, and let us know if you know somebody else doing great work in hockey. Always feel free to let us know. We'll have Don on sometime, I hope.
He's
And
amazing.
he gets to share his story a little bit as well. But just thanks for coming on. You're such a female powerhouse and such a great voice to come on. And
No, and thank
look
you for
forward to
having
touching
me.
base with you.
I really appreciate it, and giving us the exposure of the team and the great community that we do. So I really appreciate you giving me the time. So thank you so much, and for the kind words. It means a lot.
And when Chris first reached out to me, like I knew some things that you guys were doing, but not everything and not the extent. And I think you guys really care about your community, like from the NHL level all the way down to a small town rink. And it shows. And I think that's how you build a success story. So congratulations on everything that you guys continue to do. And I'd love to have you on later on in the season when it
Absolutely. Would love
makes
it.
sense, and you can update me on all the events that are happening over the course of the year and how it
You
went.
betcha. I'd
So
love it.
that'd
Thank
be
you
great.
again.
Okay, have a great day and good luck tomorrow.
Thank you. Take care.
Okay, take care.